just be characters at each other. It's so refreshing. Instead of this overcomplicated, underexplained plot where plot things happen for no reason and character things just don't get to happen. The character writing was solid. Cora and Tenzin's feelings felt real and understandable, and the animation seems stronger than the end of season 2 already. And the Zahir stinger at the end is really interesting, despite the airbending thing kind of being like, is the episode as good as I think it is, or was how bad season 2 ended making it better in my head? I don't think it matters. This episode is good. Patron shoutouts. If you want to see the next 2 episodes of Overanalyzing Korra ahead of the YouTube releases, you can support me on Patreon for just a few bucks. Link, as always, is in the
Poor George is
description
so
below the video.
tired.
Biggest shoutouts of all. Go to my top page.
When is he getting his car
Saw a
back?
human-sized fish hook dangling from the sky one day and had the mental fortitude to just not touch it at all. Cameron Lowry, who moved correctly upward in a straight line, but he usually just takes elevations to not frighten anyone. Cameron, who has found an alarming amount of 4-foot-tall insects and just hasn't reported them for the betterment of the collective human psyche. Joy thinks 4% more than everyone else, and it pays for it, so it's fair. Vortex 1, connecting the dreams of all ungulates, and you'll never believe it, they're all dreaming about grass. Time to time, they salt water, specialized organs they evolved because they started thinking about it. Survive. The famous dream is looking at often breaking species of real life. Almost once time in a row. 55 comments are your nails.
I am on fire!
5% frog, 5% that allows them to stand on lily pads. Sick. And broke their spine, but they still won that goddamn toboggan race last Sunday. And of course, Ben's a fuck you money patron. The stack of pancakes, Ben Mixer, Jonah, Sweet Tree, Kevin Bartlett, Nicholas I know, Omega Fighter, Taylor Todd, and Matt Warner, and my god overanalyzers, Tupu Beat, Ang, Alan Garvin, Andrew Jacobson, Andrew Watcher, Naomi Caro, Axel L. Citizen, Bob Depp, Carlo Red, Chandler Trump, Charles Parsbeck, Toby Smith, Jeffrey Hughes, Dr. Z-Rock, Dominic Saint, Ricker, Evan on Emma, Aaron Gray, Spiralist 44, Funtime 575, I'm a Max, Jason Gephardt, Jackson, Jeremy Rubin, John Ashaka, John Warham, John Scott, Matt, Jimmy Speak, Michael Bell, Vince Gobert, Nicholas Abbott, Peter Bayron, Carter White, Revenge of Speed, Take Away, Rocket, Prime Force,
I will be fine on my own. I am on fire!
Round up without studying. Apply today.
Here I go!
Kept in this cool ice cavern where there's interesting terrain and surroundings you can fight, and say so.
That's not a snowstorm.
Oh fuck man, this ending looks so funny. If there wasn't so much going on like this. Do you ever think, like, why do the members need this forehead tattoo? Like, why? Is that a thing they like? Surely it doesn't actually have anything to do with their bending abilities. With the Russian man alone, looking at their side, like, oh, there's one side, but nowhere to pursue. Russian vendors with forehead tattoos Similar details. Hard to imagine there's some unspoken culture to them that is so inconceivably rare. Also, do you think if the avatar was a combustion bender and they had a forehead tattoo, that tattoo would light up too? Yeah, why? What are you doing? A great decision they made with combustion bending is that whenever it happens, the music stops. You hear these little pops before the big explosion. It's very cool sound design. The sharp little snaps make this giant explosion sound and feel much bigger. It's like when you're watching a war movie and you can hear the bullets whizzing past your ear. That sometimes makes the danger feel closer, more intimate than something big and loud happening. But I feel like they kind of lost the perfect sound design of combustion bending even before Airbender closed out. In that first episode of Airbender, where Combustion Man fights the gang, there was something really sharp and snappy about those sounds that I feel in later episodes and in Korra is lost somehow. See, Zuko wears gloves in the Arctic. Everyone's like, oh, it makes sense they wear fingerless gloves because they're firebenders. They might burn the gloves. Get out of here, man. Zuko performs the very oft-unseen maneuver of the fire dodge here, where he firebends for no reason and then just steps to the side to avoid the attack. The fight overall is pretty alright. All the good guys seem to get knocked over a little too easily for my taste. Like, this is Zuko, man. He just gets sat on his ass in like 5 seconds. Having something to hit with combustion bending is cool because a lot like Maiden Knives or Sokka's sword is one of those things that is extremely limited by the children's show medium. You can't have Sokka gut someone with a sword or someone blow a person apart with combustion bending. I don't think you're ever going to see a heavily recurring good guy with combustion bending in this universe for just that reason. So it actually hitting the dragon and being effective is a welcome part of the episode. A dragon seems tanky enough to take a hit like that in my head.
Right now.
Why not? Minghua doesn't care. Fucking prude.
Got it. This passport should get me to the upper ring.
How did you open that door? Look at this. It just flies open. What the hell? Are you a door bender? It's the opposite of Sarada.
You're the best cousin a guy can have.
You're his uncle. Come on.
And two, and Ming Ming, Chow Jr., and there he is, Big T, and little T, and Medium U.
Okay, Medium U is genuinely funny.
I know that. Don't be lying to me.
Yeah, better get all this kickboxing training in for all the physical fighting you do.
It's Pile, Bitter Village, Grandma Tears, Mako Scarf, Earth Queen.
How does Bolin know that the Earth Queen lied to Korra? In the sense that how does Bolin have any idea how that conversation went? They were already gone on their little adventure when Korra was talking to the Earth Queen.
Is there an animal in my presence?
No, Your Majesty, I would never allow an animal near you.
How did you get away? Blood bending. Those people should not be forced to join an army.
Well, technically, the Earth Queen has a right to conscript her citizens.
Right.
No priest around us.
Just need to figure out where to look.
I bet they're under Lake Laogai. What? I've been reading some of Janora's books.
Wow, they pulled Lake Laogai back out of thin air almost as hard as Sokka pulled Jet brainwashing, which then led them to Lake Laogai.
I know how to check it out without being caught. I can project my spirit into it.
You can what?
It's not as powerful as it was during harmonic convergence.
What do you mean less powerful? You can't cast Holy Nova anymore? Hold on, I'm gonna wait for another line of bitch about this in its entirety.
You will become the Earth Queen's elite fighting force and protect her at all costs. It is your duty to serve her.
This is kind of interesting. This airbending training session is set up a lot like how Aang's brief earthbending lesson under Master Yu went. Just people lined up and throwing things at each other, which would make a lot of sense. The Dai Li trying to train airbenders up in a way they'd be familiar in learning it. Pretty cool. Also, this lady does some waterbending shit and throws a breeze back at her opponent.
I'm not too good.
Never show mercy. Now attack your opponent. And this time, like you mean it.
Next time I will do an open hand strike, making it strong. Hey, it's that one lonely, solitary island that the gang regrouped on after reuniting with Appa. They're on the exact same beach. Lake Laogai being totally submerged isn't surprising, but using some of the same shots from Airbender as Janora explores it is a pretty nice touch. Surely this is just some unfortunately placed growing plant life and not the rock that, you know.
How did you find me during harmonic convergence? I'm just kind of focused on your energy.
The writers are like, yeah, man, I don't know. Alright, these two I get. They're trying to block it, but guy number 3 here, come on, man. Oh god, they've gotten even better at this movie. We went from just bluntly trapping a person or body part to deftly curving around anatomy. This might be a contender for the most exact bending move. Yeah, but then again. Oh, fucking hell, lucky Janora didn't do this 30 seconds ago in front of everyone.
Thanks for coming.
It's a high-level airbender.
It's what? No, it isn't. Tying this to airbending is so dumb. This is a high-level Janora move, or someone that's very spiritual. This has nothing to do with airbending whatsoever. And some people do list this as like airbending's other thing, like metal bending or blood bending. This is Janora throwing her spirit out there. I have no idea what this has to do with airbending, so this line has always bothered me. Were the airbenders very spiritual people? Sure, yeah. Does that make this airbending? No. Second, this re-breaks our rule. As we've established, you can't see a human spirit detached from its body in the physical world. But I guess Janora is just so sick at it that she can be seen. Thirdly, how are you blushing right now? You go blood? You're a spirit. Well, then again, if you watch closely here, Ang does the same thing, so.
I can't believe that Queenie Smugface had them right under our noses the whole time.
Good one, Cora. Queenie Smugface. Holy Christ, what a zinger.
Then all we'll need is 12 tons of blasting jelly, a medium-sized bulldozer, and does anyone have a badger mold that knows Morse code?
I'm starting to think I should just load up one of the myriad green screen weapons I have that I fire at Milo for being annoying whenever Boomy starts out with one of these high-flying, idiotic tangents. You're telling me the season has Tenzin and Lin?
Who's here? Why is my life in danger?
It's interesting that Cora's identity wasn't kept a close secret, right? If we think back to season 1, there's that moment where she announces herself as the Avatar, but you kind of get the feeling that that's her moment of announcing herself as acting Avatar, like she was going to be playing a role in the world from there on out. And Lin knew who she was too, despite being estranged from Tenzin for years at that point and not having any affiliation with the White Lotus. So it seems like Cora's identity as the Avatar wasn't kept on a need-to-know basis very much, which is odd considering, as the White Lotus put it, Aang instructed them to find a successor and train and protect them until they were ready to fulfill their role. I'm just saying, I think a key part of that would have probably been keeping the identity of a very young Avatar a very close secret, like we have seen time and time
That's like
again.
Chile for some reason.
But
That's
it seems
sneezing.
like they didn't, so much so that an attempt to be made on Cora's life, quote, shortly after they found out she was the Avatar. The White Lotus seems wholly incompetent in this series. What, they go screaming from the rooftops?
Luckily, your father, the Lord Zuko, Chief Sokka, and I stopped them.
Yeah, I made a mistake. I said that maybe Sokka actually died here in this court scene, since we never hear of or from him again. But Tenzin mentioned Sokka's involvement in protecting Korra here, so I was wrong.
So that's why you sheltered me.
Korra reasons that this is the reason that she was kept away from the world for most of her life. And while I can see the logic behind that from her angle, it still seems pretty tenuous at best. I'm not sure why Tonraq or Tenzin wouldn't have explained that to her last season when she was blowing up at them. I'm not sure why they wouldn't have informed her about a potential organization trying to snuff her when she finally did enter the world. This reasoning seems pretty written in, if you get what I'm saying.
Cora, you don't understand. There's a criminal, so like nothing faces us.
Like nothing she's ever faced before. Hello?
You don't need to protect me. I came here for one thing, to find airbenders, and I'm not leaving without them.
I like how driven Korra feels in this season. In season 1, it felt more hot-headed and blindly trying to show her strength to both her enemies and the people she wanted to impress around her. In season 2, her brain fell out for half of it, and when she got it reinstalled, the vibe was more panicking to do whatever she could to avert the disaster she first enabled, and was eventually forced to basically cause. In season 3, we finally have an Avatar that seems to have their shit together, which is cool, even in the face of Airbender. And I mentioned this in the comics as well. In all of Airbender, Aang is on the back foot. Being hunted, and even when he gets to be very formidable, he's still never enough to be ready to fight the Fire Lord. We never get to see a fully realized acting Avatar with their head on straight, filling their role, until the comics, but more importantly, since it's animated now. Korra is meaningfully driven. Her brash attitude isn't self-serving, it's serving her role as the Avatar, and I think that's a meaningful and interesting difference to tackle this season with. It's not, I can do this because I'm the Avatar, it's, I'm going to, I need to, because I'm the Avatar. Right after I get done praising the show, you're gonna pull this on me, huh? Maybe it's just my version of the episode that I have, but there's this weird motion blur effect on this shot. I don't know, I didn't add this. Once again, a very similar shot to when the gang infiltrated Lake Laogai, and if you think about it, both missions are to save an airbender/airbenders from the clutches of the Dai Li. You might think portable radios are a bit anachronistic here, considering the setting, but much like how I was surprised how early night vision was invented, I'm surprised once again here too. Walkie-talkies were invented in 1937, so while it seems a little too early in this universe for that kind of tech, it's much more reasonable than it was. I'm already sick of this dude. It feels so lazy to write our people, like They also seem to be
Yo-yo.
children now, or very short.
Yo-yo. Yo-yo. ¿Vas a ir a caminar?
It's nice that the nervous guy looks like
¿Eh? ¿Qué habla? Porque ya van a ser las 3:30, ¿eh?
Was set out and executed his role without any instruction or control. I can't think of one. And like this isn't much, it's just goofy filming with Liam Harrison stuff without her master hand. It does seem a bit strange.
Deserving. I just need something to be as high as reasonable.
What's wrong with your hat? Chicken fly over? Marie. And to get in on this, he's got to be like, oh yeah, these are my people. They don't do that much. This makes me think that. Sometimes I wish we could find more interesting settings for that. The hallway made a Virgil with the avenues of perfect, but I still find that a lot of fight scenes feel a bit samey. Like, it was like, oh wow, a really tight claustrophobic fight, death barriers basically. It still feels like a hospital series. Fight locations can feel somewhat familiar, which doesn't leave a lot of creativity when it comes to the plot. Like, can you imagine an Ang versus Ozai just replacing a giant hockey open field rather than giant earth pillars? It wouldn't have nearly as much creativity as Westworld. You definitely need lower key fights like this to kind of go into really special, so really special, creatively locked ones maybe are between. I don't know, just bring up the
Let's get to it.
Just for trying to save her, especially when you're going to push the whole Genora as a master thing later. At least make her put up a fight. See what I mean? Boom, right there. These guys are way up in the sky. It takes two vendors to be a threat to them. That feels right in my head. Much more reasonable than just being able to hurl person-sized ice spears hundreds of feet into the sky. So you guys just do rocks with your sleeves, or because you're definitely not shooting at rock blocks or seemingly part of them. We see everyone bends their legs here as Golden prepares to launch them, which is good. Gotta bend those knees. Seriously, could have ended the whole mission right here if Sakatsuki took that launch wrong.
Bring me those airships now!
Is it spring? It might be. If we consider the equal of stuff took place in the winter, and season 2 at least took a few weeks to a couple months of in-show time complete, it's very reasonably spring right now, which, as we all know, is considered by some shit some of their fur. So this checks out. Why are these airbenders over here chilling with them? Over here is addressing you.
Now we do have a choice. We can relocate them somewhere safe, or we can come with me to the northern Ayrton. Live in peace. Trade as air.
This is a nice little episode arc for Tenzin. He, of course, started out this journey in wanting to basically conscript the airbenders into his way of life and his teaching. But after seeing what these people have done, he sees that doing that, or how much less extreme his version was, is wrong. So the choice to join him or not, very nice.
Me too. Count me in.
Thor should be freaking out. He doesn't know that guy didn't get away. This is an interesting way to end an episode of Korra, honestly. It feels a lot like the Airbender ending. In Korra, with the show being much more serialized, the show tends to end on cliffhanger or some ominous feel that seems exciting to get you to that next part of the story. In Airbender, the gang's adventure. I gotta admit, it's a pretty good job restraining Korra, but we gotta think about how Fufi was restrained and how much he was able to do. Heck, the Aptar staying on top of all that. I mean, it's a better job than Tarlok did, but still.
I talked to one of them in the spirit world yesterday.
terrorist and spirit.
Jet lived and drove to be a blimp captain? I'm proud of the guy.
Can I have some water?
No water. So I'm not going to bring you any rocks or fire, so don't ask.
I guess there has been the odd example of manipulating naturally occurring fire here and there, so I suppose that works.
Yes, there's air, but there's nothing to do on that.
The smoking gun Chekhov, you son of a bitch. Back at it again, huh? Showed him to save you by now. In the sky? I don't have access to an airship anymore. Maybe she thinks they double back to Zaofu and tell Lin and Sue. Yeah, alright, I guess that makes sense too.
Why did you pull her alive back in South? You had her paralyzed. Why didn't you just take her out when you had the chance?
Don't you mean wipe her out, Mako? Take out seems to be the singular form of wipeout, meaning of mass killing.
What did you do all the time? You just sing songs with my friends.
I'll give it to you. I like this scene for villains just being pretty normal in a low-stakes situation, but here comes controversial take 1 of 2 for this video. These guys aren't really characters. There's the here's Boost. Now let me explain. I've been doing this thing sort of low-key over the videos this season, where I only ever mention the here and this lady by name. Now I have a question for you. What's her name? Some of you are going to know off the top of your head, fans of the show, or the few people who certainly noticed me only naming her over and over by now. Her name is Big Law. Now, what does Law guys mean? And what is possibly the vast majority of people don't know both, and I know the people that do know both are going to be vocal in the comments. I get it, but my point is this: these people aren't really characters. A lot of you don't even remember their names. What they are unique and dangerous bending abilities tied to a body. They're a really cool dark team avatar. Very threatening because they're bending, but that's what they are. And maybe, honestly, that's all they need to be. These guys could just be interesting threats and still have a role in the show. They're just extensions. But I can't help but think, every time I think of it, it's dark team avatar, water, earth, fire, air. But when Zahir's the only real character of the bunch, when does it stop being dark team avatar and become another dark avatar? Oh, their names are Gazan and Flea, by the way, but you already Googled it too.
Next stop, the walled city of Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, speaking of the walled city of Ba Sing Se, in modern times, the walls have been accomplished, right? It seems these enormous flying machines are pretty common nowadays, not to mention the airplanes that are built on wildfire. Honestly, I'm pretty sure our world stopped building walled cities as soon as people figured out their hands. Because one didn't need much after that. But this is a world where half of the population of the earth can build a new house in 2 seconds, so I'll get more after that. And it would change the element is when he goes flying here, it seems like he's gonna land facing the stairs, but he doesn't.
Fine, that was just instant.
Oh, I'm sorry, It's interesting that they got this lowly, nervous, Toby guy to be the grandson of Barry. The last one we know that filled that role was Long Ben. And surely there's been other ones between them. But I like the idea that the role is filled by this kind of person now instead of the Long Ben kind of person. And shit, he's trying to pull fish. Fish? Hey, look, there's this construction project in the background. Maybe we'll just sample that later.
I'm so pleased. Please, why is they just sit around just
You know what they say? Nice to be nice to raise them. Also, you may notice that the gang has to walk to their upper ring house and look how they are done with the brought their car.
It's gonna go for a walk.
But if that's the case, you get to show cars in Ba Sing Se either, right? The palace looks really weird from this angle. Does anyone else think that it's greener, even though it's not? I thought this was the back.
Probably.
Anything else surprised that King Fate even had a kid? That sort of thing seems a little out of his wheelhouse. A little foreshadowing for season 4, maybe, since I believe season 3 and 4 were released at the same time. A what? Think about that, y'all.
Your Majesty, the reason for our visit is we're trying to gather all of the new airbenders who are popping up at the Earth Temple.
Airbenders are nothing sad. Where did you hear that?
I think this should be the most immediate, deepest crimson red flag imaginable to Korra is just paying attention. But the Earth Queen is still unaware of the airbenders that are just spawning at random as she feigns to be. Her reaction should be, what? There's only a handful of airbenders in the world that are down here, obviously. But no, she hits Korra with a meaning that Korra should definitely know something's up. Could this be the same bridge that Katara and Pop attempted to murder those girls on? Could it be another bridge in the enormous outer ring of Fawcett City? Oh, that usually does. Thanks, dude.
Get back here.
I mean, how that's what I expect to do animals not being correct. It's a really weird effect of this whole red line. It almost sounds like talking in animals or something. Maybe this live was recorded somewhere that wasn't normal. The trains no longer seem to empower by Flintstone energy, so I guess they're just normal trains then.
Tickets. We can make fun of. No.
So I'm going to pickpocket them, and I think it would have been a really, really cool detail to have them actually establishing pickpocketing during the chase. But the closest Mako ever gets to the deer and making a pickpocket is there. And Bolin is never even spoken to, which I was actually for this whole moment. But instead, we're left with this moment where I'm not sure how to get up there.
Oh, I didn't mean to judge you for things get ugly.
You guys, were you down here in the lower ring anyway? Aren't there guards and policemen who told us all? Hell, I only saw you in the lower ring and there was an extended disturbance. But then again, if airbenders are randomly showing up, it kind of makes sense to dial the overrun around the city so they can come.
It's been a while since we spent the night on the trash pile.
And you got some of me home just now. Banana wheel in your head, trying to do it for man. Are you fucking kidding me? It's nearly the same airbenders. Yeah, you talk about me that one time. It just been an inside production joke that they only draw the same food every time. So gold pieces, hold on, big standard. Get to it pretty soon. That the missing confirmations are that kind of trash.
I don't like it, Marcus. Besides, look at this room. It's disgusting.
Melon stuff, all right. But they're squishy and stuff.
How do you know our names? Just like Sarada. Two, you never believe who these guys are. They're your cousins.
I don't know. I mean, I know they're your nephew. It's pretty crazy that you can just make them out if we're not seeing them in the flesh at all. These ones are way for me good names. But usually strong opinion makers and people first this my God, right? Right? Oh, you all of them. Good person to be involved. Did you just swap with a fire? That's not
I'm sure they would even teach me.
Yeah, I think that's what this line of hell happened. And did you really start to see how smug and the end fully attacks?
A few months ago, Sasuke Sensei died. Unfortunately, I couldn't rely on him to train better. Using Boruto's code, we managed to gain a scar on the arm. After I appeared, the code was already weakened enough, so we fled. Sarada, I'm really sorry I couldn't protect your father. With the power of the Uchiha, I created something that will bring him back. If a clone of the teacher is created, I will be able to transfer to him the karma that I created at the moment of his death. Thanks to this, your father will return. A few months ago, Sasuke Sensei died.
In Dragon Ball Super Broly, Shenlong granted one wish to
We like qualities that she keeps hitting on the surface.
Teamwork.
Ouchie.
Just trying to think of the practicality of this. Where would you ever use it? I can't think of
I'm not interested in talking about my
Is the jury still out on acupuncture? Is it all just some placebo effect mumbo jumbo, or does it actually do something? Either way, acupuncture from Lynn's perspective definitely seems like some nonsense she would not care to give the time of day. Entire plan way easier, but no, for some reason he's probably but then he's trying to fuck around and talk for a second later anyway. Is the gear get briefly possessed by a very ugly spirit, or is this bad?
There's no stopping me now.
Sure, maybe.
Someone's lagging, it's not me. Chinga tu puta madre. Kill Kisame. I don't think they nerfed the Earth Dragon bullets. Chinga tu madre, puto.
There's no stopping me now. Here I go. not that strong. The enemy's not that strong.
Sorry, but nope.
This bitch has invincibility. That's enough with you. Stop, you stupid bitch. You. Shut the fuck up, nigga. Oh, damn. This fucking racist kiss on me. It's this kid. He is lagging so much and making my game look like an idiot. How is this bitch have invincibility? He's some of you fucking piece of shit. Take this, you fucking ass motherfucker. What about this, bitch? Bitch? You fucking ass shit. Fucking ass idiot. He's some of you fucking nigga. I'm sorry I had to say it because he is a fucking ass racist shark. I hate Kisame as a character because he spans his water fucking ass shit like an idiot. Can you shut up, you fucking ass commercial?
Really frustrated, not completely lost or undone or anything.
How many of those things are you going to stick in me?
19.
This process will correct the imbalances in your chi.
Oh, now you're just placing them randomly.
Acupuncture often taps into people's buried memories.
That person, either he was lagging so much that I couldn't even hit up one little thingy, or that freaking is bullshit.
You're telling me we could have done beginning to the year instead? Why is it she got 3 over here in one shoulder and 1 on the other shoulder? Where's the science? What the hell is this guy reading over here that he has to hide when someone comes in the room? Don't do that shit in the company of your friends, you weirdo. Crazy that Young Lin and Young Soo have basically the exact same hairstyles as they do when they're older. Is this the one rule that calls them forward? Here in the Beifong family, we pick one hairstyle and we stick with it.
So much potential. You're ruining your life. Life.
Oh my god, and that's why Lin and Sue have such a great divide? Because Sue dinged her that hard 30 years ago? It all makes sense.
These meteorites are perfect for beginning metal benders. The metals have a unique property, making them easier to bend.
Alright, I'm aware that meteorites can be made up of all different sorts of things. I was just saying it looked like when Sokka gave at the top, it wasn't really metal looking. And he described it as space earth, not metal. But I guess this little demonstration probably proves that that was indeed metal.
Oh, look, there you are. You know, I thought something was chewing on my ear and probably needed to get a shot. Probably was sort of a venom. Anyway, so
Bolden's voice actor really can deliver some gems like this one. I just wish they wrote him more good material and less zany and funny stuff.
Try to focus on the fine pieces of earth within the metal.
I still kind of hate this thinking that everyone has on metal bending. I think the first visualization of metal bending really did some damage to how metal bending is thought of. I think it's a good visualization, don't get me wrong, there's still earthen elements in this metal, and that's what Top bends, but I'm pretty sure that this scene right here, and the way characters talk about it, has convinced some people that there would be literally whole rocks in a sheet of metal, and they think that literally when they talk about the impurities in the metal, and the bender just bends those, but that's clearly not what metal is. So I'm not really sure how you fixed it at this point either, but we'll talk about it more when I bring up the platinum problem again in a while.
But you believe it's a metal bending.
This is another beat that I mentioned in the comic videos that I'll reiterate here. I actually like that Aang never learned the metal bend. It kind of ties into his struggles in learning earthbending. Like, I imagine metal bending would be particularly tough for him. I don't think it would be out of his reach or anything. I'm sure that if you put a bunch of time and effort into it, Top could have taught him. Sue even implies that here.
I mean, only like one earthbender in 100 can metal bend.
I don't believe everything you hear. The only thing limiting you is your attitude.
That with proper training, most earthbenders can learn it. But with Aang being fully realized and already so much better than everyone else on the planet at almost everything, would that effort really be worth it? To Aang, I figure he'd be happy not bothering to learn it since the process for him would be annoying and time-consuming.
Wow. Picked that up really quick.
I mean, cut yourself some slack, brother. She's the Avatar. I would have liked that maybe in the earlier seasons that Bolin could have had a big issue or been a big fan of Lin, maybe, or maybe have tried it and failed. This plot where he's really sad that he's not a metal bender seems to come out of nowhere.
Calling all units. Robbery reported on the corner of 5th and Harbor. Suspect vehicle headed south on Howe Boulevard.
They named a whole boulevard after Howe?
Unit 3 responding.
Holy hell, there's people in Republic City? Oh, never mind, they're gone. Oh, wait, they're back. They've been seen using the old hip-fired feathers the police used in the past, as we saw Top use in that flashback. Good attention to continuity. I mean, I know this is a kid's show and all, but can we really expect this needle gingerly bent downward to be as effective through these probably heavy-duty police uniform pants?
Wait.
This dude only took 3 of those needles to the head? That's not bad.
Leaving in the middle of a session could make you sick. If you leave now, you won't be able to go into the Avatar state at all.
I'm done here. I'm fine.
She looks different in attitude. Because she has the Karama mode inside her. She has Karama and she has the Karma sword. She's overworking, so she wants revenge on her father. So what do we do? Train her? She wants to.
What a scene. It kind of reminds me of the scene from The Chase where Katara and Aang get out of the and she leaves, and then there's like a 10-second aside, and suddenly Katara and Aang are lifted entirely. This goes make you say 5 seconds or they get down where it's going to be brain needle and both your problems located.
You're a triad?
Terra Triad. Evening. Very catchy. The gang to hear about the water from the city against the because Lynn definitely had these scars the entire time that you see her and know her in the show. But then you pretend to forget that she has them, like you picture her in your head. I don't know if it's probably just me. Yeah, go fly at the end and try to get across the bridge and out about 30 minutes of your commute home. Classics.
Think about you. She'll be back.
She's got crazy sideburns. I think back there. Here on their bending, otherwise could end it like bending being this rapid fire. I'll have another point to think about it. So long behind it. The asides with the gear in this episode are really weird, don't you think? They've mostly been moving around off screen, and the only reason why them around a destination are so we get more interactive with the characters that we know. But in this episode, they just have a few scenes where we follow them moving around. It's really accomplished much. We don't learn anything about them or their plans or characterize big law of the others at all. We could have easily had the gear fly off last episode, have them get away, and then not use any of these scenes in this episode and be in the exact same spot. Really a weird use of screen. Do you think you get lighter on your feet after you become an airbender just passively?
Just go train
I know you already gave them a lot of comfort, didn't you? Did you give them another chance? Did it work? But it seems to me it did not work. The only thing I'm afraid of that he might go for. I don't know what it is. Your perfect. And Liz, when you told Liz this, what did she say? Liz knows everything about romantic feelings.
Pretty even setup of pins here in this shot, except for this shot is
So, see this?
Liz was also telling me today that you seem a lot happier with me. She even agreed for you to be with me.
Stay with your grandparents.
interesting line, considering it Jan and Pa's parents split up after she ran away, and apparently both Sue and Lynn never met their father, so Pa's probably not referring to Sue's paternal grandparents, so I guess this either means Pa's parents got back together, or one or both of them found new partners. Pop does kind of rekindle a relationship with her dad in the comics, so it's not totally out of the question.
Joey, we can't cover this up. There were witnesses. The chief of police. They can't have a cult to be in jail.
Pop breaking the rules to her benefit means seems right in line with her character, and it's not like it's a really egregious one. Give your daughter a get out of jail free card, which is pretty fun, but not so much that you're like, wow, this is character assassinated, which I think is good when this show delves into our past being and fantasize about how they weren't perfect people, and I like that a lot.
Congratulations. You're the first male that made it to.
Speaking of, never really thought about this, since we had such a break between Book and the Three of Airbender, and currently going to react to Reynolds, but when I woke up and saw this, should have been like, what the fuck?
Folks, some things got crucial. Keep in mind.
After 30 years, you're finally ready to talk. 3 months offers that day. So you take responsibility for what you did. Instead, you stay quiet and mom your children.
It's crazy how much more interesting this interpersonal conflict about family and resentment is compared to the battle between God and Satan from last season. This is what I was saying. What the hell do I care about that if my characters have no personal stakes other than losing? I like them. Even though she's kind of smug and can be exhausting, I like Sue too. And the simple fact that they've been characterized strongly and the show has given me time to be invested is what makes this way more interesting than any theme struggle between giants, even before they start fighting.
Hasn't changed. You're still literally only cares about herself. Tens of millions of dollars.
Oh shit! Jerry. It's extremely weird attack from Lynn. I get like shooting an earth spear on her. I would make them step. Once again, it's pretty high on pain fight. Why is it here one time now? There's a lot of fun things to do. Being stranded in the middle of it. Actually, this move was the wrong. I feel like even though Metal Bending is a new offense, we don't think it's really not deep in the attack. But yeah, it makes sense. This walk from the tank like metal, into the all water benders, air, fire benders, game mechanical like, and I was really creativity in places like this, and you can't get rare bend.
here we continue on with the Lin Zuko parallel. Zuko, of course, had this big outburst of emotional sort of kickback after Lake Lao guy, where he was sick for a while, and then woke up all better, a bit more positive outlook. Here, instead of having been laid up, we have the emotional roller coaster of action rolled into one, which makes it walk. And then she wakes up all better, a bit more positive outlook. And while I agree that finally just blowing up something and getting it out of your system can be instrumental in feeling better about a situation, this is where all the parallels to Zuko stop. Zuko, of course, had this short period of satisfaction and famously doubled that personal improvement, which is, of course, one of the most interesting parts of Zuko's arc. It's not a straight line. He struggles to suffer before finally really breaking through. The situation for Lin, unfortunately, does not fall to the current character, who was already looking to be together since her minute. Lin had this breakthrough. There's really nothing to discuss after. Everything's all good now. It just feels better. She has a breakout rolling it for decades, which is fine, but when it's so naturally comparable to Zuko's moments, you can definitely feel it sort of falls flat. It's not all this is all sunshine and rainbows and nothing else.
Just celebrate. Please don't please.
I have to admit, though, I do like seeing the side of Lynch. Like I've said before, part of having a fully fleshed out character is being able to pick up the whole emotional range. They don't dip in any one emotion, exploring why that is as well. So far this season, Lynch just felt like this really crabby, upset lady who's very dutiful, and while she certainly is that, season 1 would have you believe she's definitely more than just that as well. And that's why I actually like her so much in that season. So seeing her be able to express herself was really nice for me. And some really great advice to close out this whole season. It's a nice through line that Bob's parenting style of the getting her attention and wanting to please her is finally resolved and through the teamwork of both of them. And I really do think this advice is great, especially for the target audience of the show, probably people in high school thinking what their next step is. I wish I took this advice early. Jesus, man, how many statues does lady really need?
Sorry, you said it.
And I think this little family's model is lined up pretty nicely. This shows up a little quickly for my taste. It feels like there really could have been an interesting conversation there. Right? But this reconciling is handled pretty appropriately, I feel.
There's plenty of space for you to make the mouse and check your mind. Just want to show up and listen to you.
She was well to make it, knowing claims she'll not just have to jump right in, but she's at least receptive to being on good terms with her sister. I think that fits Lynn nicely.
It's just the way
Jeez. See, now there's a class of Borat. I think this episode is a little shaky. I really am interested in and I am satisfied with the end point of where it all gets hashed out, but I'm less satisfied with how we get there. The fight is great and all, but I felt like it was working into a bigger, more personal blow-up than the first bending duel. I don't know. I really like our characters like Bird and I feel like that one built this 30-year-old team feel like it really ended strong. Like I said, the gear stuff is really just weirdly placed in here. It's almost like the show puts it here just so you don't forget they're in the show, or it just sits around doing something in the outro. And that's the other issue I have as well. While I like Lynn and this conflict, what are we really doing here? It's just show what's going on. Well, Lynn both get little moments, and that's nice, but this little two-episode arc sort of feels like it just barged in and took over the show and put everything else on hold. And me liking the main conflict doesn't change. Major shout-out to the next episode of Rayland Cora, and the YouTube police. For me on Patreon, just for your as always, in the description below the video. Biggest shout out to them all on my top page, Blanco, who's credited for the scientific discovery of the Kraken. That's what they dragged from the beat. The sea. Cameron Lowry, who beat a Forest Spears in a game of chess, so now they can mysteriously emerge from any tree line. Chief Coach Weekly, who becomes instant friends with any animal that can manage to last the whole blindfold. The G3, who got hit by a wrecking ball and had to pay the construction company for damage to their equipment. Luna Victor, who's so cold they can unmelt ice cream. Fairfax 1, who was enlisted in a medieval army for replacement for a battering ram. Matthew Lang, who's run off and every time there's a lightning strike, the last one is being to the god of the attack. Potato Scream, who using their turkey, dogs, and AK-47 has saved Christmas the last 3 years in a row. Full Video Life was mailed a high school yearbook, including every person on Earth at age 18 that they promoted most around plenty of parties to turn on kaleidoscope vision and give them a headache right away from Vander Island for each week to do it. And Whitrow, who was bitten by a rattlesnake, the same guy who was later. And my other fuck you money paper, Race, Wireless 24, I'm the Matt Jackson, Eric Ruby, Steve Jaker, 45-1, Jonah Johnson, Joe Amber, Justin John, Matt, EDP Speaks, Michael Tell, Mitchell Gobrat, Nick, Nicholas Adams, Peter Balaam, Auger White, Prevention Steve, Dick Tomato, Buckingham, Ryan Maxwell, Sam Storm, Shane Antonacci, Silverton, Starting Guard, Spicy Catcher, Super Step, Memorial, Montana Bell, and something there. Next up, Big Cat.
I was never upset with you. I was worried about it. It kind of sounds like upset when you said, but I'm not. I'm really concerned about it.